afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. And in studio with me, my main man, Jamie Angel.
What is going on, all you beautiful people?
Oh, you wonderful, wonderful people. And we are broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Hebert, your hometown lawyers. Go give those guys a call. You got any legal questions, they will at least point you in the right direction, tell you what they do know and don't know, and that is a lot to get from a lawyer. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate their support. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble. I want to see some Rumble chats today. If you never chatted us on rumble.com, go to rumble.com, go look at the Josh Guillory Show. You can see us. I want to see some chats on there. I want to see chats from folks that have never chatted before and from my regulars. I love it. You are what carries the show, our dear, wonderful audience. I am just very grateful that I get to spend 2 hours of my day with you and that we get to talk about interesting topics like we're about to talk about. So let's stay in the great state of Louisiana, shall we?
Louisiana.
Now, I got to say, we're going to fuss a little bit. We're going to fuss a little bit in the first segment, but then we're going to say some really good things happen in Louisiana.
Feel good Friday.
I like that. I wish everything was. Well, we've been having some good wins nationally. Mm-hmm. We've been having some really good wins nationally, but we have two what we believe to be pretty good wins for our state. Good job by our governor and legislature. Now, this first topic might make your blood boil a little bit more. We're going to talk about insurance. You ever heard of insurance?
Every month, I'm reminded.
Yeah, no kidding. I thought our insurance was going down.
Well, mine has done nothing but go up ever since this session kicked off. So, you tell me.
Guys, if things are priorities, they get done. If you have everyone listening, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, folks, whatever, workers, not whoever, you all have priorities in your life. I have a priority in my life, Jamie, everyone. Priorities get done. If lowering insurance was a priority, it would have been done. Just like if roads were a priority in the state, and I do see some good projects. I'm not going to say it's all bad, but we could do better. We could work with municipalities. We can unload some state roads, get them up to par, give them to the local municipalities who want them and can maintain them, who will do a much better job than the state. Because guess what? Those folks that go to that same grocery store as that mayor, they're going to let them know, which is how it's supposed to be.
You know what they should do as well? They should all go down to Hannison, talk to Mayor Sherbin Collette.
Hey, now get some good roads.
Let him explain to you his road program and why it only costs about $20,000 a year.
It's awesome. Well, it's a smaller sample size, but that was such a wonderful program. I called him when I was mayor.
Do it right the first time.
Learned a lot. I don't know if he even remembers, but I do. So, all right, let's see here. Let's go to an article from the Hayride. Actually, both our articles in the bottom hour that we're going to focus on comes from the Hayride. If you don't read that publication, check them out every once in a while. They're really good. Scott McKay's been very vocal lately. I enjoy what they put out. I think they put a lot of effort in. Definitely a conservative publication, but they're consistent. And that I can handle reading liberal stuff if it's just consistent. I just want to. I'm not going to agree with it most of the time, if not all, but I just like consistency. I think folks like consistency because you got to know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm talking about? You got to kind of know. So anyway, Nolan McGindry, good job over there at the Hayride. He's reporting on a growing disagreement. Boy, he's putting that nicely.
Just standing by to read that quote.
So he's reporting that a growing disagreement between Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry and Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, this time over what really brought General Motors into the state. You got a quote?
Yeah. General Motors Insurance coming to Louisiana is a testament to the work we accomplished this legislative session to bring about real insurance reform.
Yeah.
Now, where?
So Governor Landry announced again GM Insurance is moved. So General Motors, it was Government Motors for a little bit. Right? General Motors Insurances, okay? Their insurance move is a win for tort reform. And like Jamie said, past this season or past this last session. So this is interesting because Commissioner Temple's office says that GM National Insurance has had a certificate to operate here since 2006, and its agencies been licensed since 2019. So the governor, good move, GM's insurance coming to Louisiana, okay, or is in Louisiana. So basically, the governor's saying that insurance only got here, more options, bigger pool because of the insurance tort reform that was done in this session. I know how you feel. The commissioner comes back and says, wait a minute, that's not true. They've had a certificate to operate here since 2006, and they've been licensed since 2019. I'm just telling you what the article is reporting that the governor and the commissioner of insurance are saying, okay? So the only new development, according to the article, and again, the Hayride, very conservative publication, but very thorough. We'll bring out some facts. I love that. So what the article says is that the only new development here is a usage-based auto insurance product approved through LDI, Louisiana Department of Insurance's routine process, not through any recent legislative changes. I mean, the article, doesn't have anything to gain or lose. Temple declared the insurance commissioner, Tim Temple, clarified that this was not a new market entry, and that's his point. It wasn't a new market entry, but a standard regulatory approval, just part of the process. This wasn't they've been here since 2006. They've been licensed since 2019. Not a huge, nothing's different. I know why the insurance commissioner's doing it, obviously, but.
No, they stopped writing auto, I think, for a little bit, but there are some people, I saw the governor's post on Facebook.
Okay.
And I rarely go on Facebook. He got me hooked.
All right.
I was drawn in.
What'd he say?
I was reading the same thing I read.
Okay.
But I was reading the comments, and people were like, bro, they've been here. And I switched to them back in the day, and they were $600 or $800 every 6 months higher than my current, and every comment was like, they're garbage, they're awful, they're garbage, they're awful, they're expensive.
Ooh. But they've been here.
They've been here.
Okay,
yeah.
so
They
not a
cost
new
more
market
than,
entry. I see this trend in politics, and it's so disingenuous. I don't know. I don't know. Let the governor defend himself. We're going to say some good things about him here in a little bit. But that's where we're at. So the governor says a new market entry, and the commissioner comes out and says they've been here since 06, 19. You went on his Facebook page. I did not. So apparently there were some comments saying that they've had insurance since then, or with them since whatever, not recently. But we know this isn't their first disagreement, and if they could possibly work better together, and you blame whoever you want to blame or whatever, this possibly wouldn't be a thing. This wouldn't be a thing. This would just be like, hey, governor, actually they've been here since 06. Governor says, hey, whatever. I mean, there wouldn't be such malicious
How about you
intent.
talk to the insurance commissioner before you make a big insurance
I'm trying to help,
announcement?
man. I'm trying to help.
No, it doesn't make any sense. We got two different entities working the same problem, two different,
what the heck?
What's got to give?
Our whole structure of our the Department of Insurance. Should it be elected? Should it be appointed? I see pros and cons in both. But can we choose one? Who's leading? Is it the governor? Is it the commissioner of insurance?
Why are we paying both?
Who's responsible? I know you got to work as a team and all the things. I get all that.
Yeah,
because
you gotta.
But you need to. The legislature was begging both, quite frankly, just give us something. So you say the governor and the insurance commissioner, for a while there, it looked like the legislature was doing its thing too. So, you kind of, someone's got to lead in order for folks to follow. I'm just saying, and you got to be a true leader with true substance, none of this political fluffy fluff.
Impanel a commission.
Yeah, we'll be right back, guys. Stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios right here in Acadiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Go give those guys a call, man. All right, let's pick up our discussion. We're talking about a little tiff again between the governor and the insurance commissioner. Governor says GM Insurance is a big win. It came to Louisiana. It's a new market entry. The insurance commissioner says, no, it's not a new market entry. You're just pandering. You're doing political theater. You're rattling the sabers. You're taking victories for things that aren't there. Okay, well, hey, let us all be the judge. Let us all be the judge. But it does kind of look like the insurance commissioner's right on that one. Wish we had a different climate. Wish we could work together. Leaders are supposed to work together. And, they've had their different views and what's driving rates. And Governor Landry had always typically blamed the regulatory part of it. The regulatory authority supported the Blame Tim Temple bill. That was one. Temple says the real problem is Louisiana's legal climate, especially for commercial auto.
Oh, it's not that we're conditioned for that.
So a last-minute amendment to one of Governor Landry's bills, now law, remember, gave all that oversight, the Blame Tim Temple bill. Like, basically, Joe calls it socialist price controls. He's right. Well, you do not want a politician to have unilateral control, willy-nilly. You can come here, you can. I'm going to lower your rates, but I'm not going to lower that one. I mean, I'm going to raise yours. I'm going to do that without any objective criteria.
Especially when they can, when they get campaign finance from some of these companies.
Yeah. I just kind of look, I always try to look at when the verbals don't make sense, look at the nonverbals. I try to see where people are coming from. Now, the commissioner, his appearance, his process and all this, it seems to be pretty focused on facts, very fact-driven, and I think that's important. I just rarely. I'm keeping a straight face.
Ever the diplomat.
I'm keeping a straight face, but I try to see the good. I'm trying to give everybody benefits of the doubt if I can, and sometimes you just can't. But I don't. We don't really see him grandstanding too much.
Mm-mm.
And he'll bring truth, and I like that about him. But I don't see the showboating. I don't see that. You know what I mean? He's kind of. It looks like he's doing the job the way it's supposed to be done in that role. It's a very serious role. Quiet, professional, steady. That's kind of what I see of Tim. Just kind of steady. And for an insurance commissioner, I don't claim to be God's gift to insurance knowledge. I'm far from that. But it seems like I'd want someone pretty cool and steady as the insurance commissioner. No, none of this silly stuff. But the back and forth here. Again, it shows the importance, how important it is for Louisiana's leaders to stay grounded in what's real. What's real? Facts.
I look at it like this. We have a guy who is elected to do one thing.
Yeah.
Insurance.
Yeah.
That's what his job is, to spend day in, day out looking at insurance.
That's what he does.
We have a governor who is elected to cover a whole array of things.
Okay.
Insurance, one of them, yeah. But that's not the primary focus of his job is to lead the state. Why aren't we really honing in on what the insurance commissioner, whose job it is to look at this all the time, is saying, instead of listening to what the governor is saying, giving his expertise on something where he's not really an expert? Tim Temple, expert. Governor Landry, not an expert.
Very fair, very fair. And look, very common sense thoughts too. My beef is the structure. Who's in charge? Who's in charge of insurance? Because I only want to hear from one. Are you in charge, Mr. Commissioner, or are you in charge, Mr. Governor? Who's in charge? Because we got two executive functions, and this is what happens when they can't agree on something. You're left with this non-action of a mindset. Like we're just spinning our wheels in the mud. You know what I mean? So we might want to address that. Who is in charge? Because if he's elected, let the man be in charge. If he's appointed, then put him under the executive branch and figure it out. Now, we can then discuss those policies, but right now we can't even get any plan off the ground. We can't get any. And, 10 great plans that never lift off are not anything. They're no plans. I'd rather take a half-cocked plan and execute it with a 100% tenacity than wait for the perfect plan to never come 20 years, 40, 30, 60, 80 years from now.
Can someone just be honest with us?
Just shoot it straight.
Transparent.
We can handle. That's why like the whole Epstein file thing. Let that thing roll. We can handle that. Oh, world civilization will collapse as we know it. Oh, what's the alternative? Let these sex traffickers get away scot-free?
Was that your impression of me?
No.
Because I'm the one who...
You know, you flipped. You came to your senses.
Because I don't talk like that. Scrappy-Doo. Scoob.
But look, when insurance is already expensive, we don't need misdirection or this headline chaos that we're seeing. This headline chasing that we're seeing too. We need stability right now. We need transparency for certain. But above all, my friends in Baton Rouge, we need results. If it was a priority, it would happen. If it was a priority, it would happen. If it was a priority, we would put egos down. If it was a priority, we would have a little humility. If it was a priority, we would listen to each other and work together. If it was a priority, we'd bring everybody to the table that's impacted as much as we could and not just select crews on certain events, okay? That doesn't help.
And we'd have more money in our pockets.
Let's show.
All of us.
So Temple been consistent in saying that, you know, his office already has the tools to reject unjustified rate hikes, and he's using them. And I've heard him explain that on different venues for whatever reason. We're just following each other around, I guess. But he's been very consistent on that, and the tools he's referring to is already in law before the Tim Temple bill came out. Okay, and it's based on an objective data. Now we can. See, I like that. And I think you do too. I think most people do. That takes politics out. See, we can debate on what data is being measured. We can always debate that. That's healthy. You know, we keep saying objective measure, objective approach. What does that mean? Well, it's what it kind of sounds like. It's an objective process, you know, whatever that means. But whatever bullet point or whatever data points you're putting in, whatever variables, trying to find the word, there you go, whatever variables you have in there can be adjusted, fine, have a debate on that, but take the emotion out. Take the politics out. I mean, I'm telling you, no one cares who lowers their insurance rates right now. And no one's going to remember who did it. Who cares? Just do it.
I'll vote for both of y'all if you do.
I mean, just do it. I know it sounds so easy when I say that on the radio. I get all that, but I was in office, man. And I've done this, and I've looked at those bureaucrats, and I'll say, just once I got the data, we don't ask them to do anything they can't really do, but once we know it can be done, just do it.
Get her done.
And we just do it, you know, just get it done. I don't know. It's just like, why are we debate? Like, why? Once you have something done, just go do it. So insurance, if it was a priority, just go do it. Just go do it. Anyway, I can't wait to hear from my dear, lovely, our audience, who is great. Phone lines are open, 232-1542, outside the Acadiana area, 844-76-6607. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. I'm telling you, they'll take care of you. I know those guys, all those lawyers over there. Real good folks, man. Great staff. Beal and Abear. All right, phone lines are open, 232-1542. Let's go to our dear friend, Miss Tony. Miss Tony, what's happening?
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for recognizing the stellar qualities of Paul Temple. Is it Paul Temple or Paul Temple?
Temple.
We called him. We called his dad Aubrey Temple, and I was never sure.
Oh,
but,
well.
if you knew his dad, Aubrey Temple, you'll know that he was very successful in insurance, and I'm sure Paul learned at the knee.
Yeah.
And Aubrey also served on boards that direct insurance for a whole lot of Louisianans, the state employees, the school boards, the retirees, universities. He had a say-so. And I watched Jim Donnellan serve on some of the same boards as Aubrey. And Jim Donnellan, our previous commissioner of insurance, he looked like a drifty blonde. Remember from the military, we'd always have that person that didn't quite get their uniform straight or didn't march correctly.
Always one, Miss Tony. Always one.
But I've been at board meetings with him. We get out on the curb, we'd be waiting for his driver, and I'd say they're fixing to eliminate the most popular. It was group benefits.
Yeah.
They were fixing to eliminate the most popular option that state employees had ever had. And he looked at me and said, "I didn't hear that." And I said, "You were in the meeting. You were awake. You were listening." I was just horrified that he hadn't seen it. And sure enough, group benefits went on to do exactly what he thought they weren't going to do. So I always questioned Jim Donnellan's judgment, but I do not question Paul's, because he ran for this office several times, and he didn't run for any other offices.
Yep.
He wanted to serve, just like his dad, and I promise you that young man has learned by osmosis from his family and their successes and their willingness to sacrifice to be public servants and serve Louisiana. I trust him more than anybody.
Oh, hey, Miss Tony, look, we got to move on just a little bit, but always good points. Always good points. Yeah, I love that. I love that history, and I didn't know that. Miss Tony always bringing value to the show. All right, let's switch gears here. So we spanked a little, now we're gonna praise a little. This is Friday. We want to feel good, man. We still got good things to feel about. Come on now. All right, did I say that right?
Good things to feel about.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, good.
Things to feel good about.
Yeah, there you
is
go.
what he meant.
Let's talk about some good stuff. So again, I'm on the hayride. They've been very busy, or I've been busy with the hayride, I guess. Great article here. So Governor Landry just signed an executive order creating a task force to explore leaving Louisiana's traditional university accreditor and joining a new merit-based one backed by other conservative-led states. Very good news. Very good news. Great job, Governor. So here are key facts here. The new task force will explore breaking away from the traditional university accreditor. It's the SACS-COC. I do not know what that means. Do not know what that stands for. So, but they are tied to most southern universities. So it's a common. You'll see that regional. Northeast has some. Landry wants Louisiana to join the Commission for Public Higher Education, or the CPHE, which is a new accrediting group formed by Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, Tennessee, and the Texas A&M system. Okay, all right. I mean, that's some pretty good. Florida, Georgia, they got some good institutions there. Texas, for sure, and Louisiana. Doggone, I'm not taking us out of that one. It is what you make of it. CPHE's goal, that's the new group, Commission for Public Higher Education, Southern states, conservative-led states are creating this. And the goal is to cut DEI-driven mandates and replace them with merit, student outcomes, and academic rigor. All right. All right. Judge us on the content of our character. Judge us by our achievements, not by the color of our skin, not what identity politic the left wants to put us in, not this little group that the elites want to just put us in the corner. So good job. So Trump cleared the way earlier this year by signing an executive order at the federal level, which allowed new accreditors and gives states more flexibility. So states like Texas, Georgia, Florida, both Carolinas, they've jumped on it. Now Louisiana is too. That's really good. Louisiana's task force includes 13 members, top university system leaders, legislative education chairs, okay, and gubernatorial picks. Their first meeting is due by August 31st, so that's good. Hey, don't talk about something that's happening years from now, you know? But with a final report being expected by January 30th, 2026. So that is 7 months from now. That's not bad. I mean, seems like I can get a report in sooner than that, but hey, whatever. It's government speed. They gotta do some things, I guess. I don't understand. It's not my thing, not my style, but whatever. So if CPHE earns federal recognition, it could control access to student aid. Very, very important, which would mean this is not symbolic. That would be here to stay for a minute. And it's real power as well. It's not fluff, not pie in the sky type stuff. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Warren. Warren, thanks for calling in, my man. What you got there? You fixing insurance?
Well, it's on the previous topic of Brown Park.
Oh.
And I wanted to say that, during the storm, it was the only place open. So, being that it's the only facility open, it should be expanded and be a big facility. Being on the highway where it's at, it's a very good draw for people traveling to stop and rest. It goes hand in hand with Buc-ee's.
Yes.
If there was any place that we needed to put money in, people are not going to go stay at City Hall if they're traveling. It's close to the highway.
True.
And I
They
tell you
might
what,
after them
when the
renovations.
people of Northside find out what's been done, it's going to hurt it's going to hurt the mayor. It's going to bite her because they're going to find out. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks, Warren. And look, man, she went to the north side. She's promised all these things. And first thing she does is cut funding. But what Warren's referring to is Brown Park was designed to be a super park. It was designed. That's off of Louisiana Avenue and I-10 here in Lafayette, Louisiana. That whole quadrant was being underserved, underdeveloped. Nothing was happening, and Brown Park was a disaster. It looked horrible. The facilities were crap. It was nothing. It was just horrible. All right, nothing was being done. So it was designed. We worked very hard with a lot of folks to get Buc-ee's here, to move those power lines so Buc-ee's could get here, to develop some drainage initiatives, to extend Louisiana Avenue like we did. All of that was part of the plan. Well, Brown Park Phase 2 was also part of the plan to drive some really strong economic drivers and help the local area beautify, help the local Brown Park Association, things like that, the neighborhoods, all the things. Well, one of the first things that Monique Blanco-Boulay did was cut that funding. It's her prerogative working with the councils. I feel like you need to do that, whatever. But I mean, can you explain it? And all we kept hearing was, well, we have to right size the budget. Well, now we know that is completely a lie. Okay, but what's interesting is she took the money from Brown Park, the Phase 2, and then here's a $17 million new entrance to City Hall. Man, that's such
Serving no one additional,
man.
doesn't add capacity, and also
Yeah.
Johnson Street, which also doesn't serve those folks. So
Yeah. With Johnson Street, I'm telling y'all what's happened. There is some drainage needs on there. I can tell you exactly where it is, and there should be some work being done. But that's drainage. I just want to bring that up. Just remember that it might be important in the future. All right, let's go to we can fit him in. Let's go, Renee. What you got, my man?
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do with the mall in Lafayette? There's a lot of good buildings over there, I think.
Yeah, no, it could be. Hopefully somebody. It's a private private property there,
Trying to
but
make an annex for ULL so we have more parking spot.
you ain't kidding, huh? Get that shuttle over there. Yeah, I don't know, Renee, man. Seems like that area seems to have some great potential, but on paper at least, but it doesn't just to kick off. And got a good friend that walks the mall. You know who I'm talking about. She is a joy to life. So, and you know who I'm talking about too.
Right.
All right, Renee, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you, my man. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're going to keep those phone lines open. I can't wait for this next segment. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Bill and Bear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call. You got legal questions. All right, let's see here. I want to see some chats. We got a few little chats on the, on the Rumble. Appreciate that. Want to see you some more. All right. We were talking about the governor and switching some accreditation in education to follow suit. This higher secondary education. Does that say it correctly? No, college, universities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, no, that's accurate. All right. But he's switching. He wants to switch. He's creating a commission to evaluate whether or not we should join this other organization or this other accreditation group that is created by Georgia, Florida, Texas, and I think one other state. But conservative-led initiatives, anti-DEI accrediting source. So here's what's going on. This move hits at the rotten core of what's broken in higher education. I mean, think about it. Think about what we're talking about here. These old accreditation cartels, many people in education can tell you about it. Whether you're left-leaning or right-wing, you know the bureaucratic nightmare that's in some of these accreditation organizations. But they've been shoving this radical ideology just down our throats for decades. They've weaponized accreditation. You know, if a school, think about the last 4 years, just look back. If a school boy, if they didn't toe the line on the DEI line, if you didn't just toe it, they threaten their access to funding. It's and hey, we do it too, but it seems like, well, when we do it, we're saying stop pushing an agenda. When they do it, they're pushing an agenda. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference. When we say we're going to pull your funding if you stop indoctrinating kids, that's fair game. They're saying they're going to pull funding if you don't indoctrinate you're a certain way. So CPHE is a chance to end all that, this new accreditation source. It's the first time in a long time that states like us, like our state here in Louisiana, can say no more. No more of that radical woke ideology. No more forced DEI statements. No more woke hiring quotas. Man, that is so anti-American. No more curriculum mandates from unelected ideologues. This new model, seems to put the power back in the hands of us, the people paying the doggone bills, the taxpayers. Remember us? We work hard for our money. We send it to you. We don't want you indoctrinating our kids with this extreme ideology. I mean, look, whether you pay, everybody pays tax. It's all relative. So now look, folks got issues with the governor on certain things about this insurance stuff and maybe some other things. Okay, I get it. But, and we just talked about one with the insurance commissioner and things like that, but credit where credit's due. This move is solid. It's aligned with Trump's push to dismantle federal overreach in education, return control to the states, which is refreshing to hear. And that's the vision we voted on. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Eddie, what you got, Eddie?
All right, everything sounds good, but we live in Louisiana. What makes you think that the governor that we got now is going to sign that into law? This dude here talks a good game. He sounds like Bill Edwards and Agenda. They all talk good. Everything's good. And who's the people that he's actually putting on this committee to get this passed? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been hearing this man talk good about everything. And when push comes to shove, the dude ain't got no cojones in it. His wife got him in her purse. And that's all I'm going to say about that, and let's talk about it. Thanks very much.
Eddie, a man that doesn't mince his words. Man, It's sad, but I kind of have a little skepticism myself. But this is a good move. And here's what gives me faith. He's the one that's calling for it. Governor Landry's the one that's calling for it. So I'm gonna give him major props for that. And until he gets off course, let's continue to root him on. Let's continue to tell him when he's doing a good job, because right here's a good job, very good job. Look, Florida, Georgia, Texas, they get it. They've been leading. It's good to see Louisiana stepping up finally and joining the fight for what, like, we fight, but we fight for things that are against our interests, like this district, this Democrat district that the Republicans created. That's what, I just don't understand. So
we're going to take a quick moment of
Yes.
silence to remember Corporal Cedric Jolivet, who passed away a year ago today at this time. So if you would join us, we're going to take a minute of silence.
All right, guys, thank you. And as we remember Cedric Jolivet, please pray for his soul. Please pray for the Lafayette Police Department. Please pray for our community and all. We will not forget. And we'll be right back. Got a good fun hour after this. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host. And in studio with me still, my main man, Jamie Angel.
Nowhere to go.
What? Stop it, Martha Jean.
Martha Jean.
Woo, boy, it's the weekend soon. And she can't get, boy, I tell you what.
Martha Jean is talking about going into... Martha Jean doesn't have social media or anything because she just...
Oh,
Let's not.
Is she serious about that?
Oh, yeah. She's like, well, I'm going to start a Facebook. And I was like, Martha Jean, you know they moderate what you can and can't
They
post.
have rules, Martha Jean.
You can't just be your old nasty self on there, you know? You got to post appropriate things. And she's like, oh, no.
How many days until she's blocked? How many days till they kick her off?
I give her a couple weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, she'll probably post some weird food picture, you know, just
Martha Jean.
some prayers.
Martha Jean. I mean, look, guys, she's just our little resident Karen from the Ozarks that moved down to where? Livingston? Southeast Louisiana?
No, she's, I think Jeff Davis.
Oh, well, yeah.
She sure hangs out here a lot.
Absolutely. So, anyway, guys, all right. Always interesting. Love the folks over there at Jefferson Davis Parish and Allen Parish, Katie, all those guys, Cameron, Calcasieu. Calcasieu's just in the listening audience, but they're seeing us on Rumble. Thank you, guys. All right. Speaking of which, go to rumble.com, watch our show, The Josh Guillory Show, and give us a little follow. It's free. You can see some content that may be exclusive, and it's awesome. All right, check us out. So, again, we're seeing here, Louisiana. Okay, the hayride. Man, I'm telling you, they've been active.
I'm about to Mark Pope you. Josh, for everyone who's out there who doesn't know what the severance tax is,
I'm about to say
my boy Mark.
I'm about to say it. We love you, Mark. We love you, Mark. We love you. All right, Marco Polo, shout out. Okay, so Louisiana has raked in over $81 million in oil and gas severance taxes last quarter. That's great. That's good. So that's a big headline. But here's what the folks need to know, in my opinion. So our severance tax, just remember, that's what our state charges oil and gas producers for the natural resources that they pull out of the ground. It's kind of like the price of doing business here, basically. And for years, we have had one of the highest severance tax rate in the country. We were sitting at 12.5%. Now think about that. We want to bring oil and gas back. But our friends to the east, to the west, basically, I think they're at 4 or 5%, something like that. Yeah, no, really, yeah. So you look at that with our litigious climate, where would you dig a hole? You know? So great, kudos. But that 12.5%, 12.5% in a conservative state, that's been pushing jobs, rigs, and investment over to our dear friends in Texas and other states that charge less because it makes sense. But that changed on July 1st, and we want to give major kudos. So that is huge, thanks to House Bill 600, authored by a buddy of mine, Brett Guyman. I like Representative Guyman, you know. Louisiana just cut that oil severance tax in half to 6.5. That's big, 12.5% down to 6.5. I would have loved to just pushed it where Texas was, just to be equal, to be competitive. But hey, 6.5, great. That's awesome. And that's for new wells completed after July 1st. We can't go retroactive, but that's major shift. Major shift in culture, major shift in attitude, major shift in bottom line, which is what a business cares about. And it's designed to bring our energy economy back to life. We need it. That tax cut is now in effect. Great job, Representative Guyman. Great job, Governor, for signing it into law. That is wonderful. So let's hit a few key facts. So again, we collected $81 million. This will be the last quarter in severance taxes. That ended June 30th. So this is recent data. $41 million from oil, $37 million from gas. So almost a 50-50 split. Now, since January, since Trump took over, $169 million total. So you can see an impact in just culture, even if the regulatory stuff doesn't come at the same rate, even if our litigious climate doesn't change at the same rate. I got good friends that disagree with me on this, and I love y'all. Y'all know who you are. Thank you for listening. But anyway, This is good. This is good. This is good for our state. This is good for our country. DeSoto Parish led the state with over $12 million last quarter in severance collected. Then came Caddo, Plaquemines, and Lafourche. That shows that Haynesville shell, man. That's what that is. Very important. It's important. It shows specifically that Haynesville shell up in North Louisiana and our Gulf Coast are still vitally important, not just to Louisiana's economy, but to our great nation. Very important. This is huge. HB 600 dropped the oil severance back to down to 6.5%. That's all for new wells starting after July 1st. Great. The same bill also reduced the tax exemption period for new horizontal natural gas wells from 24 months to 18. Now, that provision keeps the reform fiscally neutral and doesn't affect existing wells. I get it for the fiscal neutral, but we want to go back and revisit that. But I get it. But hey, look, now you know, though. Now you know both sides of that coin. And it's good to be fiscally. I was worried about that, though. What about the revenue if you didn't cut your expenses? Well, I'm telling you, they know how to add. I'm just teaching them they have a minus button, too, a subtraction button. You can actually subtract, too. You don't have to keep adding. But, okay, fiscally neutral. Good job, legislature. Good job. All right. Now, how did we get here? First, you see, bud, we can find some good stuff here, even if we disagree with some folks. You know what I mean? Sometimes we agree more than we disagree. But that's really good. But I've been preaching to lower the sales tax for years, especially when I was in office, because we had a microphone like, hey, let's go, stop attacking oil and gas. It's vital to Lafayette's community economy for sure.
Now, if we can stop suing them.
Man, really? All right, so this change didn't come out of thin air for sure. It took a lot of work, man. It took a lot of pressure, and I'm gonna give credit to those guys that listen and that actually did something. President Trump's energy agenda has been focused on our production, American production, energy dominance, where we should be, and cutting red tape. Trump's 2025 executive orders have helped recenter the national conversation around economic growth, not environmental extremisms, not a mandate to go push every woke ideology, every extreme ideology from the extreme minority of an extremely small faction of a party. I don't get it. So, yes. This move came from Guyman and the Louisiana legislature. We applaud them. I want to give all the credit when our folks do good. But it also fits in the broader Trump policy shift to restore energy jobs and to reinvest our natural strengths. Trump set the tone nationally. That's what leaders do. Representative Guyman followed through locally. Kudos. And he represents Southwest, an area in Southwest Louisiana. They know all about LNG, all about that liquefied natural gas. And hey, man, there's so much even more opportunity. We got the right president. We got the right national culture. Man, I just hope we don't miss some more opportunities. But look, this is really good. And this matters. This matters. So let's take a tiny little break. When we back, let's talk about our energy economy a little bit more. And, maybe some things on the horizon. So stick around. We'll be right back, and I can't wait. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Abear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a buzz. We're also live on Rumble, rumble.com. Man, I love those chats. I want you to chat us on rumble.com. Rumble.com, like Rumble in the Jungle. But go sign up for us. Chat us. I want to see you. It's easy. Easy. All right, so all this matters. This is great, man. I'm telling you, for too long, we've just been bleeding in our energy economy for no reason. We have so many resources that we're walking on right now. But we've seen the lawsuits. We've seen the billboards. I get it. I got good friends that do it. We just disagree. We got to agree to disagree. It's fine. We love each other. I come with love. We've seen rigs pack up and leave. You're not moving a camper when you move those things. You're moving like a city, and it's a miniature little town, small town moving. When those things leave, it's hard to bring them back. And I'm not here to pick a fight with anybody, just for the record. But facts are facts, man. Our legal and regulatory climate has driven investment away. This bill helps reverse that trend, and I appreciate it. The severance tax cut sends a message, and that's the big key. We're starting to see a culture shift with this. This is a big deal. But that message is Louisiana wants energy jobs, because for about 8 years, there was a sign up that said, please leave our state. Please leave our state. Again, not here to pick a fight with anybody, the trial lawyer bar or anybody, whatever, okay? Come in peace. But man, it's hard to argue about what I just said. But this is good. And I'm sure no one's debating. I'm sure no one but government folks are complaining about the severance tax being lowered. This is smart policy. It's the kind of move that says, we're open for business again, folks. We need it. If we stay on this path, cutting unnecessary taxes, you know, when government keeps coming back to you for more money and you start to ask, like, is it necessary? Do you have more money than you did in the past? Is it necessary? You know, that's good. Diamond got it. Cut those unnecessary taxes. Protect our producers. It's our people, man. It's our bread and butter for so long. I mean, we were known for that. And building a fair legal environment. No one wants to say someone should, if someone's harmed, the law exists to right wrongs. But that doesn't mean, but the law also puts statute of limitations or prescription periods in Louisiana for a reason also. So let's get some fair legal environment rules. And also, we want, and the regular environment, we want a clean and healthy environment. Conservatives are not anti-environment. We're just anti-extremism that doesn't make sense, especially when we're the only kids in town doing it, us and the EU who takes the bait. By the way, France, dude, you know what I'm talking about, right? France, Palestine, yeah, okay. HB 600 is a big step. Getting back to this, I was just saying, I said EU and I thought France immediately. Wow, whew, that's other news. But Trump helped set the table, man. Trump coming in with a strong exploratory spirit, pro oil and gas, can-do attitude. It sets the culture from the top and it drips down. But not everybody catches it, and we did, and we're grateful for that. Guyman carried the ball. Kudos. Look, if we're smart, we'll keep the momentum going. That's all I'm saying. If we're smart, we're going to keep that momentum going. It's worth doing. You know? But it's Friday in Louisiana, and we finally got some good economic news. I feel like it was good to celebrate that. And, man, you know, for the legal climate that the oil and gas industry in Louisiana, to overcome what we've faced, you know, it's going to take moves like this, lowering our severance tax. It's going to take and get everybody on the table to address any breakdowns in the legal climate. But we got to fix that.
And we need to have a Republican legislature and a Republican governor and a Republican everybody else who we elected to show up and do their jobs.
Just Republicans act like Republicans.
Like, stop suing the oil companies.
Man, why would you do that?
Well, 700 some million reasons why.
You better invest that money wisely.
Oh, y'all better hang on to
You
it.
better
'Cause
invest
that's all
that
you
money
get.
wisely.
If I were a business, I would not be setting up shop in Plaquemine.
Oil and gas would be kind of hard. And look, I love the folks over there in Plaquemine. Love them over there. I don't know. That's not all money's good money. Not all money's good money.
This is a great step in the right direction. And, couple that with several other things we need to do. We might start see a reverse in the outmigration. We might start seeing a reverse in the amount of companies wanting to come here. And start to see that tick up again because we are a great place.
Exactly. And conservatives have a backbone, man. We don't need to raise the tax rate. We just need to raise the tax base. And to do that, lowering taxes makes it inviting to job producers, in this case oil and gas, who helps us, we the people. Those small business employers to big old producers like big oil and gas companies. It's all the same. They're employing our economy. They're employing our workforce. And we want them here. Well, I mean, that's why, in large part, President Trump is making a national effort to bring manufacturing jobs back. Bring back jobs where we build things. And you can walk and chew gum. You don't have to. We don't have to turn our back on our service industry that we've built over the last 50 years. But that industry did not get us to the point where we were following the Industrial Revolution, and it's lacking. And we have a president that understands that. And to get our jobs back, you gotta smoke them if you got them. Use the tools in your war chest. Use the tools that you have available to you. And I'd much rather be firing off tariffs than missiles. Because we cannot continue to get screwed like this economically. Something was going to change. We were going to war one way or the other. It was. It was an economic war, thank God. But that can ruin your life too. So yes, use the tariffs, cut these guys off at the knees, bring our jobs back, protect our interests for generations to come. And oil and gas is no different.
Well, this might be the only opportunity we get to do this for the next 3.5 years. We need to take advantage of this administration because we don't know what's coming next. We know it's not going to be nearly as intense and as productive and as fruitful as the Trump administration. We know that.
So we better get to getting. And Trump knows that. That's why the urgency and all this other and man, he's gotten legislation through. And where he didn't, he had executive orders, and the legislature has chosen to be silent, which is their prerogative. They know what's going on. But man, he knows he's banking on his 2 years, not 4 years. Just we don't know what the midterm elections are going to bring. They look.
I think it's going to be a red wave.
I think if it was today, we would gain some seats. I believe that. But
Except
it is. Yeah. Well, we also have time. Hey, Luke, don't say that too loud. The Louisiana legislature is going to give the Democrats another seat if you keep talking about it.
They have literally days to call a special session. Literally days to call a special session to fix this before it's.
When's the deadline? It's a couple of days, literally.
I want to say they got to really start on
August because of the
primary, which is in.
Come on, this is possible. Go change that map right now. Go fix that. Come on now. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to open up those phone lines. 232-1542. Can't wait to hear from you. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Abear studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Your hometown lawyers, Beal and Abear. You got questions on the law? Give those guys a call, man. Hey, shout out to our Rumble chatters. Thank you so much here. Let's see, Dirty Rice. Our company provided catch basins for the Brown Park project. Oh, cool. All right, neat. Yeah, none of that happened by accident. Buc-ee's didn't happen by accident. Louisiana Avenue, all of it, the whole thing. But drainage was huge. So, hey, thank you for your service then. Good deal. And who's the other Joe? What does that say?
Joe Biden's lost memory.
Okay. Joe Biden's lost memory. Oh, thank you. The severance tax. Okay. And it says 12.5%. They must have been using the St. Landry sales tax structure. Oh, Joe Biden's lost memory.
Come on now.
Hey, now, you got to be nice. Ice cream time. I love ice cream. My health nut for my wife, my dear.
I love ice cream too.
Oh, I love it. Sweet lady. If it wasn't for her, I'd weigh 50 pounds more. I promise. I'm telling you, I'm serious. I would. Matter of fact, probably most good, if not all good, is you can trace it back to that nice lady.
Oh, you must be in trouble.
Nope. Just 19 and a half years of bliss.
Trying to have some peace and quiet this weekend, ain't you?
Hey, man. All good. Okay, guys, phone lines are open. 222-1542. Let's see. You can be like our buddy Warren. Warren, what you got, my man?
Well, over there by Buc-ee's over there on the north side, they used to have a boat landing. I think they kind of abandoned it, but you got a bunch of little canals that could be nice for kayaking, and we could have put some simple control structures in a few places. Like over there at Rotary Point, they blocked it off. You can't even go in there. It's full of bass. But the lakes behind the airport could have been utilized to where you could access them by boat, and I think they want to keep it for the big shots to fish in. But we could have developed that and made Lafayette a really great place for kayakers and boating. And that swamp, there was some controversy about it being opened up, but I flew over it several times. It looks dead. Something needs to be done with it. Put some water in it, let it flow through there as a spillway or something. But I was hoping you would comment a little bit about that controversy with that area that was opened up and been closed off for a long time. I think it needed to be opened up. Thank you, Josh.
Hey, thanks, Warren. I appreciate you, my man. Hey, let's go to the kayaking stuff first. That idea was floated around, not exactly as Warren said, but the idea, and I get what he's saying. But basically use our waterways, our coulees, and all that stuff for parks and recreation.
Used to be able to do it at Acadiana Park.
Yeah.
I think you still can.
I think
Maybe?
you still can over there, man. Maybe not. But
time
right
they
down the
close
road you
it.
can in Vermilionville. So yeah, no joke. But that idea of using our waterways was tossed around, make it, as we're doing drainage. Every project we had for drainage, we tried to. It was our MO. I mean, I'm just telling you what we did. We always tried to maximize the footprint. So, like, take for example, Collie Saloon, right by that school, Corporal Middlebrook. All right, the Corporal Middlebrook detention pond. That's off of Isaac Verrott Lateral 7, which is a lateral that feeds in eventually to the Vermilion River. So there's a little walk path behind it when we're done. Put some little workout equipment. Just maximize the footprint and keep it cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, as for the project, that was, don't give me any credit for that. That's a lot of people. That's like a 50-year project. That's the one where the federal government, of course, comes into the Vermilion River, dredges. Woohoo! Everybody cheer. Great, great, great. Or a lot of people cheer. They put the mud on the wrong side of the dang river. All right?
Government.
So, government, So instead of fixing it, oh no, they just leave it there. And from my understanding, from people way smarter than me, engineers that have studied this kind of stuff, especially that area, that was causing some problems, and that was causing a ton of flooding, both on both sides of there, St. Martin and Lafayette Parish. So the Army Corps of Engineers said it should be removed. Well, okay, cool. They even sent out a memo in the 1990s, Mark Wingate. 1995. Hey, yeah, we should move the small banks. It would mitigate flooding. Wow, no joke.
Y'all want to see it? Email me, Jamie at joshguilleryshow.com, and I'll send you a link.
Yeah, all stuff the media won't tell you. All right, but all stuff available to them than the rest of the public. So you fast forward, and you got all these people wanting to remove the spall banks. All these folks, okay? You got the City Council of Lafayette, or the City Parish Council of Lafayette, saying it's a project we need to do. They fund it. You got the City Council and then the Parish Council of Lafayette later voting again. That's at least two. No, that's 4 public hearings, and that's 6 public hearings I just rattled off. Then you got two House committees, a House vote, Senate committee, a Senate vote. So the state approved the project and funded it. The governor at the time funded. Then you got bond commission. So that project had to go through like the treasurer. I think the attorney general at the time was Jeff Landry. He was on it. Several other members. That's a process. Okay. So all these folks that wanted to remove, okay, great project. I don't know what the controversy was, but anyway, moving on. Very, very, very thankful that those projects were done because we have had a ton of rain.
I'll tell you what the controversy was. Josh Guillory.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically.
Because you were doing it. That's why.
That's silly.
You know, New Orleans floods after Katrina, and they could not pump enough money into that area. They could not acquire enough land in that area to do drainage work. And everyone praised it. Everyone loved it.
Make it rain.
But 2016 happens in Acadiana, and Josh Guillory gets elected and again does everything he can to try to prevent that from happening for his city and his parish. And they try to put him in jail. Wow. I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah. But now, put all that aside. Great project, great. But that's not, like, don't give me the credit. I'm not the genius there. That was the Corps has no backbone because they said that it should be removed. They made a mistake. If everybody here, if we go make a mistake, let's say we go accidentally run over our neighbor's mailbox, we're probably going to go fix it. We're probably going to go repair the mailbox. Probably going to say, hey, sorry.
You should probably move because your neighbors now hate you.
Really, man. So anyway, look, I want to talk about this. This is huge. Well, this is big. This is big. Let's get on some other wins here. This is Louisiana and the Trump administration. So President Trump has now officially granted exemptions to several chemical plants right here in Louisiana from some burdensome EPA rules that were finalized just at the end under the Biden administration, very conveniently. So, look, when we get, I want to take an early break. I know I keep doing this to you. I want to take an early break because I like this. I like this story, and I want to end with it. We have a lot to be happy about, and we should enter into the win happy. All right, stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Beal and Bear, your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a buzz, those guys and gals, man. They'll take care of you. You got questions on the law, give them a call. We're also broadcasting live at rumble.com. Man, I want to see your chats over there. Go get in there. You can be like my boy Joe Biden's lost memory. What did he say just now?
Says Mela, the Corps built a levee that lasted 50 years. Don't tell New Orleans.
It was never a levee. Water still went through. That's my understanding. That was kind of part of the problem. It's my understanding that
Like a natural or like an unnatural berm.
I don't know. So anyway, yeah. Well, thank you for all those chats there, folks. But chat us on the Rumble, man. We want you to follow us too. It helps us open up some stuff too that we can give back. Help us give back. All right. I love this relief coming from the Trump administration. It helps Louisiana jobs directly. This is awesome. So he signed an executive order granting us several exemptions. I didn't say, I apologize, not executive order. His administration through the appropriate agencies allowed, but it's a culture thing, allowed for some apparently pretty burdensome EPA rules that were finalized under the Biden administration late in 2024. All right, here's what's going on. The rule is called, so when we say rule, administrative rule, that's administrative law, bureaucracy, okay? And I got my beef with that from a constitutional standpoint, but there's plenty of precedent that disagrees with me. But nowhere in the Constitution does it say administrative law. But we get it. We get it. You got to have it. You got to have it. I'm not anti it. We have a necessary and proper clause in the Constitution. So anyway, so the rule is called the HON rule. Hazardous Organic National Emissions Standards for Hazardous Air Pollutants.
Hey, hon.
Yeah. It was set to slam chemical and other manufacturing plants with new testing and emission mandates. Not voluntary, no process. It's mandated. The EPA tried to force every facility, to include those ones in Louisiana, to comply with unproven technologies, unrealistic standards, regardless of site conditions, regardless of safety risk. Just, you know what big government elites do. You know what bureaucrats do. One size fits all, good idea fairy, plucks them in the forehead in some cubicle, and then all of a sudden the masses are controlled by a single decision from someone that shouldn't be making those decisions, probably. Trump's proclamation says no. So he did issue a proclamation. Okay. I didn't know what vehicle got us here, but I'm glad something got us here. But he's delaying compliance by 2 years for qualifying facilities, including some of the big ones like Shell Geismar Dow in Hanville, Formostic Plastics, Westlake Vinyl, that's a big one. That's right down the road, right across the river, right across the bridge.
Formosa Plastics is huge. That's a real big
that's true. That's true. And sorry to the other two if they're doing big things.
Y'all good. Y'all great.
Keep making jobs.
Great stuff. Keep it up.
So these facilities, they're now protected from shutdowns, from massive capital costs that could cost. Man, that's what the thing that these bureaucrats don't understand. You want to make a good idea rule. You want to just for whatever, just cause it feels good. Well, that costs real dollars, not monopoly dollars. That costs real money from real people that are not going to employ other real people because they're going to spend their money on this capital projects that you're making them do with your mandates. Just saying. Every action?
Reaction.
The Louisiana DEQ, well, they confirmed it'll keep enforcing existing rules, but it welcomed the breathing room from D.C. I didn't know what that necessarily meant, but I think it says we welcome the rules.
Oh, saying if they maybe don't enforce too straight, it's okay.
Okay.
They're not going to get hammered up by the feds.
Well, then just make it clear. I hate those little unambiguous, ambiguous little handshake deals. I just don't like that. They're doing it in public. I appreciate that, but just make it clear. What's the rule?
I hear you, Suge. I hear you.
President Trump cited national security, energy, agriculture, and public health as core reasons for his action, and he's right on all of them. This is exactly what we need. Man, the chemical industry in Louisiana is a pretty big part of it. Pretty big part of our, pretty big part of our Louisiana economy. You hit these plants, you hit families, like real people. You hit jobs. You hit the supply chain. We should know all about that right now, coming off of COVID. And under Biden, they were doing it with a smile, just boop, slapping left and right. Trump steps in, thankfully, looked at the nonsense, and he pulled the lever. That's what a leader does. Don't tippy-toe around. Once you know the right thing, once you have the resources, once you have the green light, go. Louisiana workers don't need another round of shutdown threats, that's for sure. They need a government that understands reality, real humans. That's what this exemption does. This really gives me a lot of hope for the future. I'm serious. And I think that this culture, we'll see with the next administration, but we're still in this one and we just started, so that's really good. All right, let's go to the phone lines, 232-1542, 844-766-6607. You can just like our dear friend, Mr. Bobby. What's up, Mr. Bobby?
Yeah, I saw Martha Jean at the dentist's office. She's eating a banana with her false teeth out.
Ah, come on.
When did she get false teeth? She stole those false teeth. They're not hers.
I think it was a sample. It didn't really fit her mouth. I think it's just a sample.
She got those at the Goodwill, Mr. Bobby.
That's a sample. That's what it was. But next to her was your parish president getting her teeth fixed.
Oh, there you go. Good. Good. That's good. It might be rattling through all those lies.
Yeah, she said she's gonna run the city like her mama ran the state. I'm out.
Oh, Mr. Bobby. Whoa.
Mr. Bobby.
Don't put that on.
Mr. Bobby. We're friends. He's like, I'm in Vermilion. I don't care.
Go back to my little St. Martin abode after this. Me.
With some straightforward talk in St. Martin and Vermilion. We ain't getting that here. We do in the municipalities.
We're getting our roads fixed. That's the good stuff.
Over there in Henderson?
In St. Martin.
In St. Martin?
Oh,
that's good, man.
Got one more.
Hey, but look, you got one more road?
Oh, well, one more that I care about.
Oh, I got you. But look, man, a lot of things happening here with this policy shift. The Biden-era EPA wanted to push all the green ideology. We saw that, through backdoor mans, nothing in our faces. They never went through Congress. It was all through these agency rules. They didn't care if the tech existed. They didn't care if it worked. They didn't care if it was safe. They wanted to punish producers and prop up their activist agenda, and I'm right. Trump sees through it. We see through it. He stopped it. That's what we sent them there for. Stop the madness. Stop the bleeding. We're seeing common sense come back to Washington, and that is fantastic. And Louisiana's energy corridor. We got hope, man. This is hope. Jobs. And a reason to keep going. We can't quit. And that, you got severance tax on the oil and gas side, man. Huge win for America. Huge win for sanity. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be careful out there.